Hello, my name is John.
And I'm Nikki, and we are the bosses next door.
Yes. The version of us that wouldn't have made it.
That's what we're talking about today.
This is what we're talking about today.
Yeah, so I guess a little reflection.
A lot of reflection.
A little reflection, a lot of reflection.
Okay. Want to start?
Sure. So back when we started the business, who we were as people before we are where we are now today, right?
Yeah. Okay.
If you've been following the podcast for a while, you've heard the stories and things that got us to where we are now. Changes I have made. I'm a lot more dialed in, a lot more focused, a lot more ready to win. Less of a NPC and more of a boss. So
Oh, yeah?
I think so.
You were an NPC before?
Not really, but I mean, I had NPC moments before. It's like, I'll just process these checks and send these invoices and, do stuff that I didn't really want to do.
Yeah.
But I knew I had to do it. But now I sit in a different seat and there's like the creative mind, the growth mindset and all the things. So what about you?
Do you have to work on staying in that currently?
Sometimes. I make lists. So when I make a list and I'm dialed in and, you check those boxes, it's a good feeling.
So you're saying you wouldn't have done that before?
Well, I mean, I still would have probably made lists, but the tasks I would have been doing at that time were very different from the tasks I do now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. How long did it take you to figure that out?
I don't know. You like to push. Mm-hmm. So, probably it was only like the first couple of years while we were getting processes and procedures ready to go before. And then after you build a staff and a team that can really do stuff and you're able to delegate, I think that's when you get really dialed in. Because I didn't want to work a lot when we started. Our kids were smaller. I still had a lot more to do with them. They had their extracurricular activities, things like that. And so I wanted to do as little as possible, enough to get it done. But I had other stuff that was a bigger deal to me then. Yeah. So.
And that's changed?
They're big now. We only have one little left. And yeah, we're trying to grow and have world domination. So there's lots of things we got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, hard work is like hard work. Physical hard work. Like I can outwork everybody. I felt like I could. I was humble enough to ask questions, but I didn't probably see the big picture. Like I could see people who were bigger than us. We'd be in these events and groups when you'd see people that are bigger than us, but I didn't really understand the scope of how they actually got there. Like I love the idea behind it, and I saw what they had or how they had gotten there. Or they told you how they got there, but like the process of getting there, the mind shift of getting there, isn't about you working your muscles and outworking everybody. It was about putting the right team together, putting your SOPs together, putting out a good product, and then just continue to grow. And I think that keeps coming back to me is, we have Little John's Lawns, we have Call Boss, we have another company, a software company, and how much work we put into Little John's, and it was survival. So I think that's a little bit different. But I think that like we're kicking off these other two and trying to grow these other two. And I think that it was a reminder of how hard it was to get it off the ground.
Yeah.
It's fair?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just in the beginning, right? The struggle was intense.
I think the struggle was intense, and I think that's why most people quit. So I think for me, it was like, I just have to outwork everybody. And in the beginning, yeah, that's what you had to do. Like you had to just do what people were not willing to do. We just had a conversation earlier with one of our people who work here. And it was like, Nikki's like, we went everywhere. Like we drove everywhere.
Yeah.
We needed to clean up. We were going.
Yeah.
And I think that part was a good lesson for us. I think we didn't. I was taught like, oh, you don't need these systems. Not systems, but you don't need like these CRM systems. You don't need this stuff in the beginning. We got it. I went against what a lot of people were telling me, and I think that like those ended up being really good decisions. Mm-hmm. We've made decisions that were like we thought were fantastic that were actually dumpster fires, but I think that you learn from all that stuff, and as long as you continue to learn. So the old me was just like, I'll just outwork everybody. But you can only do that for so long. You're going to run out. Like, it's just like you don't have, you could be a great tech, but if you want to build a great company, you can't be the person that's laying all the bricks or mowing all the grass or doing all this stuff. And I think that was a sharp reality for me.
You'd be out from 5 or 6 a.m. till like 7, 8 p.m.
Yeah, every night.
Yeah, and our kids were small, and so it was like something's got to give. But we also, like, I understood it had to happen in order to get us to where we could afford to have people work.
Yeah, people thought we were crazy.
Yeah.
Because the theory is, like, when you have a business, like, well, you have a business, you just make a lot of money. And like, no, that's not the case.
And you don't have to go to work. You have a business. Like, you just have people for that. What?
Yeah. I'm still here, like, first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
But I think it's like, I think that for us in your reality, it changes. The reality changes. Like, you remember our first goal?
Our first goal?
Like, oh man, if we made $100,000, we'll be set.
Oh,
like,
man.
as the business.
First goal, I think, was like, let's make rent.
Let's make rent.
Then,
we made rent, danced about it. But like,
yeah, we thought $100,000 was a lot.
We thought a lot, right? Then. So we thought, man, if we could do this, like, we could make $100,000. The company could make $100,000. We're golden. Now, granted, it was myself, Jose, and then I don't know if we had Roger then. But,
I think we did.
So the first 2 employees we ever had. And I think that we got there and was like, oh my God, we're still pissed broke because everything it takes, the gas, the insurance, the equipment, the maintenance, the payroll, all the things we're trying to figure out.
Say insurance again, because that one is not cheap.
No, the insurance is brutal.
Yeah.
And so I think you get through those steps, right? And you're like, okay, well, that's not right. We got lucky because we signed up for Service Autopilot early, within our second year. We were doing Google Calendar. It might have been the end of our first year.
It was like the end of the first year going into year 2.
Right. So we were doing everything on a calendar, this big calendar, and then Nikki would write it in a binder, and then I would literally just, okay, I need to go here, I need to go here, here's what's going to happen, right? I took pictures on my phone, I believe. Mm-hmm. Made a huge mistake as I used my phone and my cell number as the business number. Don't ever do that.
That didn't last long. That was very short-lived.
Yeah. Because people call you on Christmas like, I hope you're having a good Christmas, by the way. So I think there's those steps, right? I think, like, as you grow and you have to be willing to, like, ask for help. So I think the old me struggled with that a little bit. Mm-hmm. I think it also helped us a little bit because I didn't like, oh, truck and trailer does that's because what everybody else is doing. That's not necessarily what we need to do. That wasn't our strategy. Oh, everybody else is going on buying brand new trucks. Okay, that's fine, but that's not our strategy, right? But I think, so I was ahead of some stuff. I was way behind on some things. I listened to everybody. I asked questions to everybody. Mm-hmm. But I think the one thing I got wrong in the very, very beginning is that, like, I grew up in a household that my parents worked together. They owned their own businesses and they worked really well. They worked really well together. And then Nikki did not. And my expectation was, like, well, Nikki's just going to fall right in and, like, we're just going to roll together. And that was a way bigger struggle than, like, I ever imagined. So I'm trying to fight to try to keep the doors open in our house and our business. And I'm fighting with Nikki because, like, she's like, wait.
It was a lot. And I was like, I'll just go get a job at a grocery store and sling some groceries because
you like
I love that job.
But it was just like, I didn't understand, like, why is this so difficult to get? Like, this is our business. But in hindsight, I think it was like, just wasn't our experience, right? And I didn't have that, had never faced that before, so I didn't know what to expect. Fair?
Yeah. Yeah, and I didn't either. And so when it was like, okay, I have an idea of how this could work, how it could run, what I should do, but I didn't know, so it was a lot of, like, trial and error and what's going to be best, and then figuring stuff out, and then deciding, do I want to be in it every day? Yeah. Because there were times when I didn't.
No, there was lots of times. She wanted to get fired on a daily.
Oh, on the regular. Yep.
On the regular. But it was like, I'm sorry, I cannot afford to pay anybody else. And I am currently outside all the time trying to make this happen.
Yeah.
So I think you get past those hurdles, and most people probably would have quit, and then you get past those things. But if you look around, and the people who have small businesses or large businesses, they've all started somewhere. Mm-hmm. It's just the ones who didn't give up.
Sure.
Right? And then we kept listening to like Jonathan Prokoshnik and some of those things, and like, okay, he's a sounding board of like, I had never seen a residential landscape company that big. And I haven't seen somebody that so process oriented and so like dialed in. And I think we were like watching that, like, okay. And then we get in this group and you start watching other people. I'd be on the phone till midnight, like talking to people all across the country, which is probably some of the best times ever. And then we're just learning. And then I get up at 4 a.m. to go out and start working again. But I was just trying to figure it out.
It was connecting with the right people to be able to learn.
Yeah.
Right? Like if we hadn't have done academy or, you know, we'd be so far behind.
We'd be really far behind. We do think about like what happens if we would have started 10 years before this.
Yeah.
Earlier, right?
Yeah.
But I think this is the growth. I don't know at 20, 21 years old if I would have been ready. I was a grinder. I could work, but like, was I mentally ready to go? Maybe. I mean, maybe would have been okay.
Sure.
But that was before like any of those type of like CRM systems or technologies were out there. And now stuff's impressive. You look at guys who are like, oh, I built this massive company on spreadsheets, and you're like, how in the world
Right.
did you do that?
It's amazing.
It is. Mm-hmm. So I think that like in hindsight, I think like we used to collect checks. We don't do checks anymore. We used to do, we did calendars. We got a CRM system. We used to do our own accounting. We got an accountant, Like as you grow and you figure out the things you're not good at and you start piecing them off, but that takes experience. It doesn't take... You just don't know.
Well, you don't know. So like our first bookkeeper was, our friend from Life Group through church. And she was just like, hey, I can help you guys out. I had no idea what I needed to do. It's like I had QuickBooks. I had some things set in there, but it wasn't like great.
Yeah.
But I didn't know. And so she was like, I've done this before. Let me show you. Then it grew out of like her showing me learning, her doing it. We hired the next person. I did it for a little bit, and then it was like pass the torch.
Yeah.
Now I know that I'm not good at numbers, never have been, don't like math. Sorry to my kids. But, somebody else is better suited for this than me. So let's push that one to the side and get to the next.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of that, right? You just keep finding like, man, I am not, there's people that are way better at this than I am.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're not talking about so much growth today. We're talking more about identity shift. Because do you feel like the person you are now is different from the person you were back then?
Oh, absolutely. I think weirdly, I was like carefree a little bit then, right? Like I just, go to work, this, that, and the other, and go. We were involved in a big startup before, but it was like somebody else's monies. Right? Somebody else was in charge of all that stuff. We just showed up, worked really hard, did what we're supposed to do, had ideas, and then keep going. Now it's like everything rests on your shoulders.
Right.
And it's like there's no, let somebody else deal with that. It's like, no, the buck stops with you. So I think I was unclear on that in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm just going to work really hard. Everything works out. No, not everything. All the time. Somebody doesn't pay you. Somebody doesn't. We had a company back in the day that didn't pay us, right? And we almost went out of business. Yeah. So.
But we have to handle everything.
You have to handle, and I think that shift has been really interesting and tough. I was way closer to the guys in the field than I am currently. Like I talk to everybody, I'm very nice to them, but like I used to know everything about them.
Right.
And we've gotten too big. We're big enough with all the companies that it's hard to know that. And that part is a little bit like, that's kind of sucks a little bit. But at the same time, I think that like, it's impossible. It's impossible to know everybody and do that, have that relationship with everybody.
Right.
But also like, it's a little bit of guarding myself, I found. Because everybody has their angle. Everybody's trying to figure something out, right? Everybody wants something. It's like, and I have to be okay. Like, I have to take it for face value. I wouldn't have done that before.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, it does.
Do you remember we'd lent out all that money that we didn't have? On a hope and a freaking prayer that he was going to be with us and like pay it off. Do you remember that?
It was a long time ago.
A long time ago, right? But like,
we did.
We did. He did. Oh,
yeah, he did amazing. Too. Yeah. So
he pays us back. And like he has I think it was a surgery or something. Right?
Yeah. Something medical back then.
Yeah. So we did it. Today we wouldn't do it.
Oh, well, we have a loan program now, so
we
like
have a
people
loan
can
program.
get loans
Yes.
and things. And
But we would not amount was
no, not crazy big amounts. No.
I think the other thing, mind shift, is like thinking more, stop thinking about what's happening today and tomorrow, and thinking about like, okay, what's the first quarter look like, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter? Were we on pace? Are we off pace? What's our profit look like? What, are we on or off, right? If we're off, why? If we're on, okay, like let's repeat that. We wouldn't have done that years ago.
Again, we didn't know years ago, right? So it's like going through the different lessons and classes and trainings and things.
And
okay, this is how we can structure better.
And experiences, like just personal experiences.
Yeah.
That side's tough.
I feel like your identity has shifted quite a bit.
Oh yeah, how's that?
Just because, like, not just in the business, but your personal growth, your personal journey, like all the things that you've changed in your life, you're so consistent.
And very consistent.
Like, you weren't that consistent 10 years ago, No,
I could like get up in the morning like, hey, you just want to go, go to California? And you're like, gone. It drives her crazy because we didn't plan it. Now I'm more so like, okay, I have to. My schedule's tight.
Yeah.
Though it's tight, but it sucks because like yesterday, it did not, full transparency, did not want to be here. I did not want to be. I was like, that does not happen for me very often.
You didn't even have like a real reason why you did it. You're like, I just got to get out of here today.
Yeah. And so I was still here till 4:30.
Right. You just left for a little bit.
Yeah. But so there's that. Like the old me would have been like, I've stopped working. I know it had to get done, but like the office side, never thought I'd be in the office as much as we are.
That was hard for you in the beginning.
Oh, it still is hard for me.
Yeah. To be sitting and like in front of a computer.
I have a pair of walking shoes by my desk, so I'll put those on and just go do laps.
It's good for you.
It is actually good for me. The structure is really good for me. The structure is good for me, but I think it's been really good for the business. Like if you look at our COGS, like we just talked about our COGS, how much we've dropped them in a year, which is everybody's telling us is like almost impossible. And so like to drop them that much, and then now it's like, I think the consistency that we brought in our life has been really good.
Yeah. Well, and then the other part of that, it's really cool, is that our kids see it. Yeah. They know what we expect, right? They know the grind that we put in.
I think that's interesting. I think that the version of me wouldn't have made it, but it wouldn't have made it if I wasn't around my parents who own businesses. That's a good statement. Yeah. And I think that I think our kids probably have rubbed off more than what they actually realize. So if they ever wanted to go off and do their own thing,
we'd support it.
Yeah. But I think they already, I didn't realize, oh yeah, you need to do this. We'd figure it out. For sure. But I think that's just like you're at the dinner table and your parents are talking about business, or you're around it all the time. I think you just naturally pick that up. Fair?
Yeah, I agree.
So I think there's that. I think that setting goals for ourselves, like yearly goals, 5-year goals, those kind of things. As you get older, maybe those goals, I don't know. I'm getting older, and I think those goals are getting closer to oh my God, that was that goal's coming close,
Yeah, just because we're getting older, so.
Yeah. Anything else you can think of that you would have I know I'm just kind of rambling, but I'm kind of going through my mind how this all started. It's kind of a trip, you start and you have an idea of how it's going to go, and then you're thinking about it right now, because I wasn't prepped for this episode necessarily, but to think about right now, oh my God, the growth that we had, the amount of people that have come through our lives.
That part's crazy.
That part is crazy.
If you look just in the CRM to see how many employees we've had that have been here for a minute or a year or whatever, there's so many.
It's incredible.
And it's insane to look back and go, I remember that guy. It's our second year, and we were working at, Central Christian Church, and he made it a few months, but it's just wild to look back and see how many people. I'm grateful for all of them. Bad employees, good employees, because we learned something from it. Yeah. I think that's the other thing. I don't carry stuff like I did before. The old me? No. Man, I'm pissed off, and I let you know it too. The new, me now is all right, man, it is what it is. As mad as I maybe am, it doesn't matter.
yelling at somebody, being upset at somebody, and I'm not really a yeller at employees, but being mad or upset isn't really going to fix it.
Well, that just takes up time. It's like bypass, get past the, okay, that sucks. Sucks that you ruined my grass, but we're going to mash on and how do we fix it and keep it pushing.
Oh, you're talking about our recent learning lesson.
Hey, it's okay. It's looking a lot better.
Yeah. I think doing what everybody else wants to do or needs to happen is like, that's the part. You have to be willing to not go the direction that everybody else is going. I think before I was so hooked on like, I'd meet this guy. Hey, this guy says to do it like this. And we would try it. And like, these mother effers don't know what they're doing either, you know? And so we just try it ourselves. Or like I talk way too much to Nikki about business, and I still do, have been for 13 years. But I think that's how I figured out how to like get things worked out in my brain.
Yeah.
Right? Like last night, Nikki's at the, we get home at 6. She was hot, man. She was hot about something and just like, but worked out the whole thing while we were sitting there. I was making dinner.
You're making your consistent food.
My consistent food that I don't know how I eat every day. But
yeah,
you were just like upset about something or trying to figure it out. And you like went through the whole like steps and like we know each other well enough. Like sometimes it's good just to shut up and listen, right? Or wait till you have it and say, man, like we had one not that long ago, she was upset about a situation at one of our companies and like she was hurt by it. And she didn't like the answer that I had because I was like, no, you're in the wrong. What? And we went and we go to therapy. We go to therapy every other week. And side note, we've been going since 2019.
Which is crazy.
No idea. And it's now 2020, almost 2026.
Yeah.
But it was crazy that we didn't agree about it. And I really, we've grown a lot as people because back then you would have been PO'd at me.
I'd have popped off real quick.
Yeah. But what's interesting is like we're in therapy and she's like, yeah, it wasn't what I wanted to hear, but he was right. And I was like, because I didn't take it from a place of hatred or being malice or whatever you want to call it.
We're just looking at all angles and you know, it can be interpreted like this, even though you meant to do this. And so it just kind of was what it was.
Was what it was.
But I had to let it go because I can't keep thinking about it.
Yeah.
Again, like ain't nobody got time for that. So it is what it is. And we got to still push forward. And
yeah, you came to peace with it.
Well, things happen,
But it was awesome. Like it's a good growth moment for Nikki and myself, right? Like I she's comfortable enough that I can be honest and not, you should be honest with your spouse anyhow, but honest enough to where I wasn't, she understands I'm not coming from a place of like being mean. And I think that was really cool.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, no, I think it was good. Because 10 years ago, heck no, man.
It would have been a fight.
Should have mother effed me out the door.
Literally.
Yep.
But that's the change, right? These are the things that happens. Like business doesn't just change your schedule.
Yeah.
It changes who you are.
Yeah.
You approach things differently. You look at things differently. Your responsibility level is so much more once you are responsible for all these people that work for you.
Yeah.
You just have to not only grow, but like reflect and how can I be better?
Yeah. Well, then you learn now then, right? It's like, oh man, I can't afford this. Well, then now I learn like you can't afford not to.
Right.
You can't afford not to.
We'll figure out a way to pay for something that's going to help benefit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We just bought a crud ton of blowers because like we realized like, man, we haven't turned them over like we normally do. And it's like right now in the slow season, but people are crazy happy. They're like, oh my God, right?
Well, yeah, you don't want to go to a workspace where you don't have the equipment that's working properly for you. Like the frustration is huge.
And then like we have a situation now, like it's a price matrix, right? And it's like, we've always just figured it out. Like, okay, man, that's not exactly right for commercial, but let's just like, we're going to work on it, right? We kind of have an idea. You have a newer employee who's like, well, but they're stuck on it. Like, I don't understand. And even though it's like, damn, I don't have the time. We delegated it. It's taken us 3-4 days.
Yeah.
But it like right now, if I get done with this meeting, like we're going to go see it and it's done.
It should be done and it should make everybody's life a lot more easy.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, like that's awesome.
Yeah.
And like, how do we continue? Like, how do we continue with that? Like that part is incredible.
Right.
So
I agree.
yeah, but like that wouldn't have happened years ago.
No, it'd still be on a list partway done and not finished and just sitting there. Like,
Yes, it would
there's
be.
so many things that we want to do and we're always trying to make things happen, but you just get busy.
Yeah.
And it's not even just like everyday tasks. It's like you never know when a bomb's going to drop and you're like, oh, this is now a crisis. I got to switch gears, go this way. What was I doing 3 hours ago? Who knows, right? I'll come back to it when I get to it. But sometimes then you find it's not as important as maybe you thought it was.
Right.
You just never know what's going to happen in a day.
Yeah. Yeah, and I could like this is the season, right? So Nikki, you can feel like I feels like Nikki's winding down a little bit, right? It's like I think we're 2 weeks from Christmas Eve today. It's like kind of winding down for you.
It gets a little more like intense off of the work side. So just a little fun fact, we live in a really awesome neighborhood where we all swap Christmas gifts every year. There are 12 houses on our street, so I have to get gifts for 12 houses, and then there's like 5 other houses on the street behind us that we also participate with.
Yeah.
And it's a little thing that our neighborhood does.
It's kind of awesome.
But it is kind of awesome. But it's also kind of stressful because now I got to go get more gifts in addition to family gifts, in addition to extended family gifts. Like you guys know, you all do the same things, right? It's just more things with a deadline that are coming down the pipe. So anything I can wrap up here on the business side, okay, that I can give that to that person, that to that person. I'm going to tackle this day. I'm going to take an extra 2 hours this day to go shop and do some things, come back in, whatever that looks like. If I can fit it in, that's how I fit it in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's like that's the, but we couldn't have done that, 3-4 years ago.
No. Thank goodness Walmart used to be open 24 hours back then, because I got to find time.
Yeah. What's the one thing that you thought was going to be awesome and it just wasn't?
With the business?
Yeah.
One thing that I thought was going to be awesome. I guess on one hand, I thought once we got more people, it would be awesome. And it is. But the flip side of that is payroll. And it's stressful because when you have 60 plus employees, that's a big bill every week. Yeah. So it's awesome to have great people in place, but then the flip, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we make it happen every week. It is what it is. But as it grew to higher numbers, it was like, oh man, we do have a slow season, right? So got to make it through.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? You prep for like a big season. The big season doesn't necessarily hit, but the people are really happy because like we have like more than enough staff, and it's like
we have too much staff
right now. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. But the thing of it is, like once they're trained and they're good, and we have really good people, we don't want to lose those people.
No.
So we're finding ways to keep people busy.
Yeah, being creative.
Good entrepreneurs, though, would not. They would let go of the people that have the least amount of seniority and keep the business profitable and all those things, right? And we're still small enough to where we're like, okay, these are really good people who do a really good job. Let's figure out a way to keep them through the season because it's going to hit. Like our February is going to be insane. And then March is going to be doubly insane, and it'll go from there. But we always know come the winter, it gets slower.
Yep.
We got to make it through.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting strategy. We came into it knowing we knew this was going to happen. Nikki and I had long conversations and man, this is the year we're going to keep holding on, right?
Right.
We've had Call Boss for 6 years, but we're just going to keep rolling with it. And that's the plan. So the plan's the plan, and we just got to buckle up, Chuck.
Yep.
We're
going to see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think those are risks, right? So we could let those people off, or we could whatever. But if you do, man, the training to hire to everything else when spring hits here in a month or so, month and a half, it is gonna be wild. It
is.
That business is literally no water and fire hose.
Right. Right. And we're all gonna make it through because we made it through the winter.
That's right.
So now it's time to work, and then we'll push through it, get through our spring season, and figure out how to bring in more businesses for the off season.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And so that's the same with Little John. So now we have we're shifting focus essentially, right? Where you have Little John's, we're still making a push. We're still bringing in leads. We're still closing customers. And we're, when I say 2 weeks out from Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
So really like this is the full week. Next week's a full week. And then we have a partial week. We stuff everything to 3 days. Following weeks, we stuff everything to 3 days.
Yeah.
And then it'll be January already. Crazy.
At least we're already planning for Q1. So that's good.
Anyways. So before we started this, I grabbed Nikki's kicking and screaming on the way in here. Not happy whatsoever. But we've been together 25 years. We know each other. Put those headphones on. She got to hear herself sing.
Oh
Life
my
was
gosh.
good.
You're not even supposed to say that. I cannot come on here with a microphone and not bust into karaoke.
Yes. But you know what? But I know her so well, right? Like this is my ride or die.
Yeah.
And so like I knew all I had to do was at least get the headphones on. And she was like mad.
I was big
And
mad.
so our daughter Dorsey's sitting here like, oh man, what's going on? Anyway, so you have to have a little bit of fun. You have to break away for half a second. You have to be able to like reset. And I thought this was a good opportunity. So thank you so much for watching. Not everything's perfect every day. Sometimes things are going to be rough, but you got to figure it out. And the last thing is, too, is you have to train the people around you so they can take those things off your plate. Because if you don't, guess what? Every day you're going to be doing the same things over and over and over and over, and you're going to get stuck in a rat race.
But expect the unexpected because you never know what's coming.
Oh, my gosh.
Yep.
Yepper. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.
See you on the next one. Thank you.